Arizona 17, Chargers 15. Here's my big takeaway. I feel bad for Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray, even though Kyler won. Justin Herbert, no run game, shaky O-line, got Jalen Reagor fumbling in the end zone, throws for 349 yards. I mean, Quentin Johnston, boy, he was missed, wasn't he? We're not even sure he's not a bust. He wasn't there, he was missed. His number one target was Will Dissly. No run game, 349 yards. And Kyler Murray, by the way. Thank God they have one stud. James Conner, the running back, just fantastic. But Marvin Harrison seemed disengaged. The rookie again. What's going on with him? Dropping passes, not engaged. That's been hugely disappointing. But between Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray, it is another referendum. Don't chase money in any profession. Chase great ownership. Chase great management. There's so little of it. How many awful organizations are there? The Chargers are better now. They got Harbaugh. But, I mean, Kyler Murray, he makes Arizona interesting. And that's all you can ask for if Michael Bidwell owns your team. I mean, he makes them interesting. I mean, now Herbert finally has the right head coach, and they have two very good tackles. Cross your fingers on their health. But, I mean, there's a way to play them. Just stack the box. Don't let them run. They have nobody on the outside. Quentin Johnston looks like a semi-bust. They have nobody on the outside that can beat you. I mean, there's absolutely a way to defend the Chargers. And Justin Herbert throwing for 349 yards to a tight end. And it's amazing that he threw for 3.5 football fields. And here you have, I mean, thank God James Conner has delivered for Arizona. The owner doesn't. The front office is hit and miss. Coaches, they're on another one. I mean, I'm watching these guys, and I'm like, I feel bad for these two quarterbacks. And you can say what you want about Kyler Murray in the video game. Here's all I know. He's a great player. But Lamar got Steve Bisciotti and John Harbaugh and the Ravens culture. Now, Lamar's better than Kyler and would succeed at some level anywhere. But Mahomes got the Hunt family and Andy Reid and Brett Veach and now Steve Spagnuolo. I'm not saying if you put Herbert and Kyler in Kansas City and Baltimore, they would be as good. But it'd be closer. Justin Herbert is a lot more talented than Phillip Rivers. But when you watch his career, it's starting to look like the same trajectory. I felt for those guys. I'm like those two quarterbacks. One is the big strapping kid with a huge arm. The other, the smaller guy running around that 44-yard touchdown. Herbert is doing everything he can to pull this franchise up a hill and get over it. And here he is after the loss about the struggling offense.
I thought we did a lot of good things, but we got to score points in the red zone. That's the biggest takeaway from tonight's game. We got an amazing kicker, but we got to do a better job for our defense, for our special teams. We got to score points in the red zone.
By the way, they do have an amazing kicker. They just don't have amazing wide receivers and amazing speed and amazing tight ends and amazingly dependable interior offensive linemen. But they've got a great kicker. And thankfully, they've got Justin Herbert, and thankfully, Arizona has Kyler Murray. Push back all you want. They both make their franchise immeasurably interesting, and sometimes that's all you're going to get.
Okay, let's talk about this. I'm actually going to end up doing this in 2 different videos because I really want to talk all about Justin Herbert, and then I also really want to talk about Kyler Murray. But I don't want it to be some 30-minute video, quite frankly. So let's talk about Justin Herbert, and if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I want to hear about Kyler Murray, that video will also be posted as well. But I wholeheartedly 100% agree with Colin, 1,000%. I think with Justin Herbert, it's so clear how unbelievably talented he is. But when you're a quarterback, you can only go so far with talent, right? You need a team, you need a defense, you need offensive weapons, you need a run game, you need a coach. You just can't do it all yourself, right? And to me, this was always a 1 to 2 to 3 year plan with Harbaugh, right? It was never like, they got Harbaugh, boom, let's go. We're just going to win the division, get to the AFC Championship game, let's go. It just can't be done that quickly because, quite frankly, the Chargers were a mess, right? They were a mess from a personnel, from coaching, from culture, they're a mess. And I think if you're a Chargers fan, you know that. You feel that, right? You know that. But they made the best move of getting Harbaugh. Harbaugh is that dude. The fact that this game was even remotely close is because of Herbert and Harbaugh, quite frankly. So make no mistake about it. And it's going to get better, right? Throughout this season or the next season or the season after, right? They need a draft. They need some free agents. And this team will significantly better. So I know if you're a Chargers fan, it's going to be frustrating to see this. And I'm sure and no matter who you're rooting for, seeing a 17-15 point game is like kind of brutal. If you're a Cardinals fan, you're not like, that's right, baby, we won. And if you're a Chargers fan, you're like, what the heck did I just watch? Right? Like what was that? So no matter what side you're on of it, it's just, not gonna be great. But with all that said, the future is significantly brighter. Significantly. I believe that football, and I feel like Colin has talked about this as well, football is getting increasingly more and more predictable in the sense of who will be great and who will not. And it's coach-quarterback duos, right? When you have a true coach-quarterback duo, you will be great, right? As long as there's not crazy egos involved, you will be great. You will be competitive, you will be relevant, and you will have a legitimate chance to win it all. Justin Herbert, make no mistake about it, is an elite top quarterback. Make no mistake about it, okay? Because think about it. He does not have a ton of weapons. He does not have a lot going on right now. And yet, look what he does. 27 for 39, 349 yards. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Look what Baker Mayfield did when he lost some of his weapons. Look what Patrick Mahomes has looked all season when he doesn't have his weapons. I mean, look around the league. Look around at any of these quarterbacks when they don't have their weapons. The Buffalo Bills had to go out and get Amari Cooper. Lamar Jackson they had to go out and get Derrick Henry to make their team more formidable. Like you need weapons. You need you need support. You need support. So the fact that they're able to still even do what they're doing, the fact that they're even remotely able to look productive and be in these games is remarkable. Look what the 49ers did against the Chiefs. I mean, they unraveled. Brock Purdy looked awful. He did not look good. That offense did not look good. And then compare that to how the Chargers played the Chiefs. Significantly closer. They were in that game. They had a chance. They were banged up. Herbert wasn't 100%. But they were in that game. So, to me, those are all stepping stones to what the future can bring. And I've said this before the season ever even started, that Justin Herbert, Harbaugh combination will be the best example that we have as to why coaching matters so much. Because there's a lot of people, especially maybe non-Chargers fans, that think that Justin Herbert's not good. Anytime a top 10 quarterback list comes out and Herbert's on it, they freak out and say, what is he doing on there? He hasn't done anything. He's not that good. And it's like, no, he's brilliant. He's unbelievable. He's amazing. He's just had nothing. He's had bad coaching and bad roster. Or a roster that can't stay healthy, or he got injured, whatever it may be. But he is an unbelievable talent. And as soon as Harbaugh gets there and has a minute or two to kind of, do what he needs to do with that team to improve it, you're going to see Herbert shoot through the roof and see the Chargers shoot through the roof. And we're going to be able to be like, see? That's how important it is to get your quarterback a great coach. Someone who actually knows how to run a team, who knows how to run practices, who knows how to run a staff and employ a staff, who knows how to relay to his GM what we need, who we need, what do we need to make our team better? What do we need to work on? How do we grow as a franchise? And you're going to see it. It was never always about this season. It was always about 2 or 3 seasons. But they're already ahead of it from my viewpoint. They really are. They had that game won. That fumble, yeah, it's a bad fumble, but it's also one of those more fluky things that kind of just happens. I mean, yeah, he punched down all that, so credit to, I'm not sure who did it, so credit to that guy. But that's definitely a little bit more of those fluky things, right? That's not like a very common occurrence necessarily. But obviously, this was clearly a winnable game that the Chargers definitely wanted but dropped. So to me, the way how I'm viewing the Chargers right now is that they're ahead of schedule. They obviously need some pieces, and we're already seeing how Harbaugh and Herbert are able to keep this team relevant and keep this team in games. And so just imagine what they're going to be able to do when they actually have some weapons, when they can actually establish a run game, when they got some receivers for Herbert to attack the field with. Look out. We're going to be able to look back on this video and you're going to be like, oh yeah, everything you said was 100% correct. Wow. Next season or the season after, guarantee you they're going to be a top team in the NFL. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. There's not a single doubt in my mind. If you think that I'm going against Harbaugh and Herbert, that's a sucker bet right there. That is a sucker's bet. If you want to bet against them, by all means, go do it. Count me out. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Justin Herbert and the Chargers? And, what they've been able to do this season versus what they've been able to not do. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.